Collecting commercial debt in Vietnam requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires strategy, timing, and a deep understanding of how the system works in practice. Many foreign companies assume that a signed contract and an unpaid invoice are enough to guarantee repayment. But in Vietnam, reality operates differently. Legal procedures exist, but enforcement depends on how well you apply them, and who's guiding you. Vietnam's legal system provides a pathway for creditors to recover unpaid debts, but the road is narrow and filled with procedural obstacles. From poorly defined dispute resolution clauses to missed deadlines or incomplete documentation, even minor errors can lead to case dismissal or delays lasting months. Debtors can exploit loopholes, move assets, or simply ignore your claim unless the legal pressure is calibrated correctly. Without a local expert, these legal risks can become financial losses. At the core of legal debt recovery in Vietnam are four main tools: demand letters, negotiation, litigation, and enforcement. The first step is always a formal demand letter, clearly written in both Vietnamese and English, structured with legal references, and served in a legally recognized format. If there's no response, the next step could be court litigation or commercial arbitration. Strategic negotiation often happens in parallel, leveraging threat of legal action, reputational damage, or business disruption. Once a judgment is secured, enforcement becomes the final hurdle. Asset seizure, account blocking, or public auction are possible, but must be carried out precisely under court orders. Winning a lawsuit doesn't mean you automatically get paid. In fact, enforcement is where most foreign creditors lose momentum. The civil judgment enforcement system in Vietnam is fragmented and often requires persistent follow-up, procedural expertise, and sometimes relationships within local enforcement agencies. Asset verification, legal filings, and physical enforcement actions must all align with Vietnam's Civil Procedure Code. Any misstep in this phase can reset the process or allow the debtor to avoid payment entirely. A South Korean electronics company partnered with a Vietnamese distributor to expand their market. After 14 months of solid sales, payments stopped. Internal discussions failed. LTS law was brought in. We issued a bilingual demand letter and began collecting evidence for court submission. We identified that the debtor's legal representative had been absent from Vietnam and filed for a procedural delay. Anticipating this, we requested a travel ban and prepared court filings in parallel. Within 3 months, we received a favorable judgment and began enforcement. 80% of the debt was recovered through bank asset seizures. A Singaporean logistics firm faced a $2.1 million US default from a Vietnamese infrastructure partner. Contract clauses specified arbitration in Vietnam. LTS Law assembled the case, structured the arbitration request, and worked with our certified arbitrators. The opposing party initially delayed, but with mounting procedural pressure and reputational exposure, the parties reached a mid-process settlement. The outcome was faster, confidential, and enforceable, with installment payments backed by a notarized agreement and collateral. Most law firms can quote the law. Few can implement it tactically under pressure. At LTS Law, we operate like legal strategists, guiding foreign companies through every stage, from first contact to last payment. Our team blends courtroom advocacy, legal drafting precision, and business negotiation with cultural fluency and procedural persistence. We understand how Vietnamese debtors think, how courts respond, and how to adapt real-world tactics to the legal framework. That's why our recovery rate is one of the highest in the market. If you're a foreign company doing business in Vietnam, start planning for debt recovery before a problem arises. Build solid contracts with enforceable clauses. Monitor payment patterns closely. If signs of delay or default appear, act quickly. A formal legal notice, drafted and served correctly, can often prompt negotiation or settlement. If legal action becomes necessary, prepare with proper documentation, timelines, and a committed legal team who understands not just the law, but how to make it work for your benefit. Don't let a late payment turn into a permanent loss. If your company is facing non-payment in Vietnam, or if you're looking for a trusted legal partner to safeguard your commercial interests, LTS Law is here. We've helped hundreds of foreign investors recover millions of dollars using targeted legal strategies adapted to Vietnam's realities. Visit lts.com.vn to request a private consultation. Let's turn your claim into actual recovery, with precision, not promises.